All right, we're going to be trying a bunch of pumpkin spice products today from different coffee shops and all around. I don't know how to rate food or drinks or pumpkin spice because I'm not. I think it's just okay. But I also have my lovely fiance who's going to help out, is a pumpkin spice expert. First up, we have Dutch Bros, which is a pretty good coffee chain. This here is the Caramel Pumpkin Brulee Brev. This one is hot. We also have the same thing, but an iced coffee. And this is a pumpkin pie frost, which they say is kind of like a milkshake. First up, this one is the pumpkin pie frost. Pretty good. This got a nice consistency to it, and it feels you really get that pumpkin pie flavor really nicely, and it just honestly feels like if you had a Thanksgiving pumpkin pie and you turned it into a milkshake.
Here's my try a bit. Yeah, it's pretty solid, really nice and creamy. I like the toffee on top, brings it all together. It does taste like a pumpkin pie if you were to puree one. Nice coloration too. Pretty solid. I'd give this probably 8.5 out of 10.
Next up is the iced caramel pumpkin cream brulee. It looks very similar to the pumpkin pie frost, but this has got coffee in it and ice. Who would have thought? It's pretty good. It's not as pumpkin pie heavy. It just tastes like an iced coffee. I don't really taste much of a pumpkin flavor in this. I don't know if that's because like a lot of the flavors concentrated at the bottom. But still overall very solid.
So just adding the different coloration right now. So there's like a dark brown at the bottom. I think that's the flavor. There's a white on top. And in the middle section is just that creamy mixture that's in between. So just noting that. It's nice and smooth. You can really taste the cream at first, but then the aftertaste is a bit of coffee. I'm not really tasting much pumpkin in it. It feels like any other like iced coffee to me. I'll give it like a 7 out of 10.
Next up is the hot pumpkin caramel cream brulee Breve. You can't really tell much from here. So let's try to get this open. You can see what it looks like. Very similar to the other drinks. It's very foamy. Looks pretty good, to be honest. But I'm going to put the lid back on because I don't want this to spill. I honestly just want to keep drinking that. I generally prefer hot coffee, even on a hot day. Just very nice. I still don't have much of a pumpkin flavor. I think the caramel maybe is a little bit overpowering. This is overall very solid. Don't have much else to say about it. Just very straightforward.
I think it's going to turn out a lot similar to this drink over here. Just because this is just iced. So, let's see. I like that it's warm. It's a lot warmer than the 2 drinks we just had.
You almost sound disappointed.
It's lighter than a Starbucks one, I gotta say. I'm gonna take one more sip. Just because I couldn't really taste much to it. Yep, that's coffee, isn't it? I'm sorry, I can't really taste much here. I don't know, I can't really taste much to this. There's no pumpkin. Either that or my taste buds have diluted themselves because I've had 2 ice drinks that had pumpkin in it, so maybe it's just used to it. But if there is a pumpkin in this, a slight amount. Real slight amount. It's more caramelized. Yeah, it's coffee. 6.5 out of 10.
How would you rate Dutch Bros overall on their pumpkin?
I feel like I just rate them overall on their pumpkinness. I like their ice drinks more than I like their warm drinks. So, Dutch Bros, you got a 7. 7 out of 10 for me.
I honestly really like the drinks here. If you want just like a great coffee, overall, I think they're really good. If you want a stronger pumpkin flavor, you might not get it here, except for the pumpkin pie frost. If you want the pumpkin pie frost, that one is the most pumpkin. Definitely the best one out of the lineup in terms of how much it's got actual pumpkin flavor. That's it. Overall, good job. And what do you think about Dutch Bros?
How many claws does it get?
Next up is McDonald's. We have this McCafe pie. This is the pumpkin and cream pie. You can see it looks similar to the apple one, but this pumpkin filling in there. It's all right. It's kind of lame. It kind of tastes like a pumpkin pie. You got the pumpkin and the cream, and the nice crust. I don't know. If you're gonna get something like this from McDonald's, I'd rather just have the apple one. It's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. I think it's just could be better. I guess I don't know how they could make it better, but something.
They could have just went ahead and put the cream cheese filling onto the top of it like a toaster strudel. Just go ahead and stuff in the pumpkin and just go ahead and coat it in like that and just bake it right in. Anyways, I think it's pretty good. Just because like I really like pumpkin cheesecake. I also like pumpkin pie. So if you're like a pumpkin pie enjoyer, this would be for you. But in my opinion, it's pretty good. It has nice crisp to it. It's nice and creamy and pumpkiny. Yeah, I think I'd give that 7.5 out of 10. Good job, McDonald's.
All right, it's a new day, so it's time to try more products. We're going to try to hit up a few more places today. First up is Paris Baguette. I've been getting ads for them quite a lot on YouTube recently. Let's see if it lives up to the hype. All right, first up we have the regular pumpkin spice latte. Let's go ahead and open this bad boy.
Look at that.
You can see they got the nutmeg flakes. That's actually very nice. This is honestly very nice. The pumpkin flavor is much more prominent in this than some other places. It really does just feel like a nice fall morning. Cool.
Now I'm gonna go and try it. Just real strong. Pretty dang nice, yeah. You can go and taste the pumpkin in it. The coffee really comes through so that you like know that this is a nice pumpkin spice coffee. And also taste the cinnamon afterwards. After you go ahead and get like a second sip in. I would say 8 out of 10 for this. So far so good. Good job.
Next up is the iced pumpkin spice latte. You can see the flakes clearly on there. This one looks pretty good as well. We'll see how it holds up to the regular one. It's okay. I think the pumpkin flavor is a little bit more diluted in this than the hot one. As far as an iced coffee goes, I mean, it's not bad. It's just definitely a weaker pumpkin flavor, if that's the sort of thing you're looking for with this.
So you can automatically taste the coffee in it. It just feels like another coffee drink, like another like iced coffee drink. There's not really much pumpkin spice to it. I like the scent of it. The scent was like the first thing that went ahead and brought me into the drink and really made me get hooked into it. Yeah, I'd just say it's another iced coffee drink. There's not really much to it. Nice try. I'll go ahead and give this like a 6 out of 10 on the whole pumpkin spice scale.
Next up, we have a pumpkin Danish. You can take a look at that bad boy. Just looks like a Danish with some frosting, and there's a little orange structure in the middle. I don't know if it's going to be pumpkin flavor, but we'll see. It's pretty good. I'm not sure how much of this is pumpkin. It's definitely not like vanilla. Like I think there is like a flavor there. They didn't just put orange food coloring in this. That said, it's not quite like a pumpkin spice. It's just kind of like a little very mild flavor, but it's pretty good.
All right, so the first thing that I noticed with like Meta taking a bite was that nice crispy like crunch that he bit into. I think there was like a hint of vanilla on like this white part over here, the icing. I'm gonna get a little bit more of the orange part just because I didn't really get much of it. I just got like a tiny sliver. The orange part is more sugary. It doesn't really taste much like pumpkin spice. It has a nice pumpkin spice look to it, but I feel like it's just sugar. Like a bit of cinnamon, but also a mix of sugar, but not much pumpkin spice to it. It's not bad. For the Danish itself, I'd say 8.5 out of 10. But for the pumpkin spice itself that's within here, I would say like a 3 out of 10. Thank you.
This here is the Pumpkin King Cream Donut. It looks kind of like a cheeseburger that they put cream in, and they just put orange filling in. There's definitely a bit more of a pumpkin-y flavor with this pastry, but it's very mild. As a pastry, it's pretty good. Like this just tastes, it has that very nice Asian bread kind of texture, and just feels like a nice custard filled pastry.
This felt like biting into a burger, like a nice custard filled burger. I like the consistency. It was nice and fluffy. You can tell from the top. There's a bit more in here. There was a bit more pumpkin spice to this one than the Danish. I'll give this 7.5 out of 10 for the pumpkin spice, just because like I felt like it was a bit more than the Danish.
How would you rate Paris Baguette overall?
I'm happy they're in our area now, so I'm probably gonna go there a lot more often. I liked it, yeah.
I think overall Paris Baguette did a pretty good job. The ads lived up to the hype. I don't know how much I would come here specifically for pumpkin spice, but I definitely would be interested in trying some more of their products. The pumpkin spice latte was definitely the star of the show here. The pumpkin spice flavor was just really well executed. We're going to try a Corner Bakery Cafe next. We're starting off with the food item this time. This is the pumpkin spice muffin. You can see it's a very nice thick top. This looks pretty good. We shall see how it tastes. Very solid. The pumpkin spice is there. It doesn't feel like it's taking away from the texture of a muffin. Overall, this is very pleasant.
So this is like one of my favorite places. This is where like I like to go to sometimes whenever like I have lunch with my friends. This is one of my favorite items that like I usually get. It's a really solid muffin. I love it. This is like literally one of my favorite items. I would say embodies pumpkin spice. Let's give this a rating 10 out of 10. I love it.
This is the pumpkin spice latte, hot, standard pretty much. Let's take a look at inside. Look at that nice foam. It looks pretty solid. You can see some of the seasoning on the top. Pumpkin spice is very solid. This is you really get the pumpkin flavor. It's very hot right now. I mean, obviously it's a hot coffee. So burning my taste buds is taking away from the flavor a little bit, but that's not the fault of the establishment. Overall, I would say it's pretty nice. I don't know if the pumpkin spice flavoring is as strong as some of the other places or some of the other drinks we've had, but there's nothing wrong with this drink. It's fine.
Yeah, when I'm saying this is literally one of my favorite places here, this is literally one of my favorite places. Done right. This is done right. 10 out of 10. It's pumpkin spicy. You can literally taste it. One sip is all it takes just to go ahead and taste this. Really strong. It's really, really strong. You can literally taste the pumpkin with one sip. Cinnamon just straight up balances right out with the pumpkin taste. It's delicious. I love it. 10 out of 10. This here is the pumpkin cream cold brew, which is different from the iced latte. I think the pumpkin spice flavor is actually stronger in this than the hot one. That's actually a really nice pumpkin spice flavor. You really get the nice nutmeg. The ice doesn't dilute it too much. A lot of the times it's the iced coffee takes over whatever other flavor it is, but not the case here. That's pretty solid. You can taste like a shot of cream every single time like you take a sip. It does taste like pumpkin spice. It's just like a cold version of the coffee. Yeah, this is pretty solid. Pretty dang solid. I'd say 8.5 out of 10. This is the iced pumpkin spice latte. We'll see how different it is from the pumpkin cream cold brew we just had. This one is very sweet. Maybe even too sweet for a lot of people. There's not much coffee flavor here.
The pumpkin spice flavor is a lot richer. So I guess if you want like a better pumpkin spice experience, like a really sweet experience, then you would get this one. But I think personally, I would go with the cold brew just because it's a little bit more balanced. I would say overall.
I just need to stir this. It looked like there's two different layers. There's the cream at the bottom, and then there's the latte that was on top. But now that it's all stirred up, I'm gonna go and try this. I guess the key thing was to go ahead and stir this. So I will say that this is a lot more latte-based and cream-based in comparison towards the last one. I think that it has a good amount of pumpkin spice in it. I'll say 8.5 out of 10.
How would you rank Corner Bakery Cafe?
Top notch. Top notch.
Would you say it's your favorite?
Yes. Yes, I would.
All right, our next location, we got Starbucks. This is the pumpkin spice latte. This, you can see the seasoning quite prevalent there. This is short because we don't like to waste food and we don't want to die from coffee overdose. This is, without a doubt, the most popular of the pumpkin spice options, but is it the best? We'll find out. Honestly, I don't know if this is the best pumpkin spice. This is previously when people obsess over pumpkin spice, I've usually only had Starbucks, and I think it's just okay. Yeah, it is just okay. The pumpkin spice is there, but it just tastes like any other Starbucks drink to me. It doesn't have much of its own identity as a flavor, I guess. Like, the seasoning helps, but I don't know. I think there's better options.
So this was like my ever first pumpkin spice drink that I've ever tried. My sister got me into pumpkin spice, but there's a lot better pumpkin spice drinks out there. It has a hint of pumpkin spice in it, but it's not too overwhelming. It's pretty low. Pretty low.
This here is the pumpkin cream cold brew, which looks similar. It tastes like whipped cream and iced coffee. There is virtually no pumpkin spice whatsoever that I can tell in this drink. This is just like any old iced coffee. You're paying quite a premium for this. You'd expect there to be actual pumpkin flavor in this.
Just gonna mix this up a bit. Yeah, there's no pumpkin spice in here. It's just cream and coffee. That's all you're paying for. If you want to go and get a quick little cold brew that has a bit of pumpkin spice in it, then this is what you're gonna be going for. But in my opinion,
this is the pumpkin and cream cheese muffin, and I can already tell they put oats on this, but as a muffin, this just looks kind of sad. But who knows? Maybe they'll prove me wrong. You know, it's called the pumpkin and cream cheese muffin, but the cream cheese is doing a lot of carrying with this. It's almost a little overpowering. I mean, the pumpkin flavor is there. The oats try to give a nice crunch to the muffin, but I don't think it works that well. Kind of a mid-muffin, especially because we just had the other one.
so I think the seeds on the side are supposed to be pumpkin seeds. Yeah, that's pumpkin seeds. I like that there's a dusting of sugar in there. You can taste the pumpkin. It's nice and crunchy. I like it. And yeah, it's not bad. It's a nice creamy muffin.
Finally, from Starbucks, we have the pumpkin loaf. It does look like a solid piece of bread. You can see that nice orange color and got some more seeds or oats or whatever on the crust. Definitely a step up from the muffin. This is what I was hoping the muffin would taste like. It almost kind of has a texture similar to banana bread. Definitely the highlight of the show here from Starbucks. Nicely done.
So I really like the colors. They're really nice and inviting. This yells fall to me. This feels like a weaker version of the muffin, in my opinion. But it's nice. It tastes like pumpkin spice. It has a nice pumpkin taste to it. There's a nice crunch to it. It's nice and soft to bite into. It's inviting. Yeah, I like it. It's pretty good.
So what's your final rank?
Dutch Bros is fourth. Starbucks is third. The bakery that we tried today, that was
Paris
second.
Baguette.
Paris Baguette was second, and then first is Corner Bakery Cafe.
I would say my ranking is pretty similar. I would put Corner Bakery Cafe at the top, followed by I think I would actually put Dutch Bros at number 2, just because the pumpkin pie drink they've got going for them is such a strong highlight that it just feels like you're drinking Thanksgiving. Third, I would put Paris Baguette. The pastries were nice. The hot pumpkin spice latte was the best out of all of the in terms of strong flavor. But and finally, below, I would put Starbucks, just because it's Starbucks. You got better options. But below all of them is Dunkin', because they don't exist here. So before you ask, where's Dunkin'? I'd love to tell you they're just not here. No coffees were wasted in the making of this video. I never want to have coffee ever again.